What's up, guys? Mike Olson here, as always, with my partner Justin Moody. We are the Moody Olson team, and this is our YouTube channel, Moving to Las Vegas. Today, we are going to tell you about the different historic and hidden neighborhoods that you might not know about if you're looking to buy a home here in Las Vegas. Let's get right into it, guys. Justin, what is the first neighborhood that people may not know about that they should be thinking about when they're moving here to Las Vegas?
Okay. Well, so many times, I talk to a client and they're like, look, I don't want a cookie cutter home. I don't want a track home. I don't want something that's going to look just like my neighbors. And I definitely don't want to be right up against my neighbor. And so many times people think that's all Vegas has to offer. It's not. We have so many different unique communities here in this town. We're going to put a link below on a video that Mike and I just released not that long ago, talking about some of the different types of housing that you can buy in Las Vegas. You'd be surprised at what you can buy. Today we're going to talk specifically about communities, though, and where some of these houses might be.
And these are going to be historic communities, guys.
Yes.
Nothing that we're going to talk about today. This is not going to be new developments. This is not going to be, we're not going to talk about places like Sky Canyon or like Southern Highlands, communities that were developed in the 90s or the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We're talking old Vegas today. We're talking classic, historic, Rat Pack mob Vegas today.
And nothing screams Vegas nostalgia like the Scotch 80s. Just that name alone. Some people might think, oh, like Scottish? No, I'm thinking like a nice glass of Scotch.
Right.
Because you see these houses, you walk into these houses, they all have beautiful bars and big open kitchens, and you know that there were several bottles of scotch that have gone through these homes over the history. The Scotch 80s is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Las Vegas, and this was Vegas luxury in the 60s and late 50s.
Yeah, this is where the casino moguls of the day
exactly
had their homes.
This is Jerry Lewis actually has a home for sale in the Scotch 80s right now. Well, the Jerry Lewis estate or his former home is currently for sale in the Scotch 80s. These are mostly going to be single level farm style homes. They're going to be on large lots, and I mean large lots, quarter acre and above. And they're all going to have been built in the late 50s and early 60s, and a lot of them still have that kind of retro style, both outside and in.
Lots of intricate landscaping.
Yes, lots of intricate landscaping. You're going to see a lot of rock. I know. I saw the tour of the Jerry Lewis home, and one wall and fireplace was just all huge rock. So it's just a unique style of home. This neighborhood is located about, I would say, a half a mile off the North Strip. And about 3 miles south of Fremont Street. So it's pretty centrally located, and it's right next to the 15 freeway, so you have easy access throughout the city. And the home styles, again, they're going to be mostly single level. There'll be a couple of the larger two-story homes. Some of them even have basements, and they're going to have 3- and 4-car garages.
Well, you're talking about homes that were largely built in the 50s and 60s,
Yes.
And so they're going to be homes of that era.
Yes.
A lot of them have been modernized. So because of the fact that this is still considered a very desirable neighborhood to live in, and the homes there tend to be a little bit more expensive than maybe the average home in the Las Vegas Valley. So you're going to have a lot of residents who have moved in and they have modernized, they have updated, they have brought these homes into the modern age with all sorts of technology, with upgraded kitchens, with smart home features. Not necessarily all of them, but many of these homes are going to be like that.
But what I love about that is that they really didn't do much to the outside. So you're still going to have that same visual aesthetic from the outside and the grounds as well. You get the big circular driveways, the large open areas in the backyard, even the side yards are great. You get some of the quirky features. You might have an atrium in the middle of your home, which, that doesn't appeal to everybody, but that might appeal to you. So the Scotch 80s is definitely one of the most nostalgic and one of the oldest communities here in town. And let me tell you, those homes are pretty spectacular.
And one more thing about the Scotch 80s before we move on to our next neighborhood, and this is going to be true of several of the neighborhoods we mentioned on this list, is that even though these neighborhoods, as a function of their age, a lot of them are located in more of the central part of town. But despite that, they tend to be kind of secluded oasis in the larger city. So you'll go into these neighborhoods, and the Scotch 80s is a perfect example of this, And as soon as you get a block into the neighborhood, you kind of forget that you're in the heart of the city, because you have these neighborhood streets that have so much character, with these big tree-lined streets that are just shaded, and all of the beautiful lush landscaping on these properties, many of them that have been upgraded now to be more water friendly, as far as being, they save water by having the zero-scaped dynamic in them, so that they still look beautiful, but they're being responsible members of our Las Vegas community here. But you just go back in there and you just forget that you're in Las Vegas. Even though you're a block from the Strip, you can't see the Strip. You know, so these neighborhoods are just fantastic places to live. All right, Justin, what is our next neighborhood that we should talk about here?
All right. Another one of my favorite neighborhoods, we're going to talk about Las Vegas Country Club. Again, one of the older communities here in town.
Just on the other side of the Strip.
Just on the other side of the Strip. So with this community, not only do you get a top-notch golf course, which is public, it's a beautiful course. Mike and I have played it. We both enjoyed it. But you also get those historical type houses. You're going to get the mid-century modern look and feel of the homes. Again, just like the Scotch 80s, the exterior hasn't been touched too much. It might have been brought up to date as far as color schemes and the woodwork and the paint. But the inside of the homes are mostly been updated and brought up to modern standards. And they're just absolutely beautiful. Again, you're going to be looking at bigger lots, a lot of single-story homes, and a lot of history. So with Las Vegas Country Club, you're going to get that country club vibe in Las Vegas, but it's going to be that old school kind of country club vibe.
Very retro,
Yes.
mid-century modern. And listen, if you're talking about classic Vegas, if you're talking about old school Vegas, mid-century modern is the order of the day.
Yeah. And what I love is, and I haven't had the opportunity to live in a community like this yet, but I can't wait to. It is very much a golf course community where people are driving their golf carts around the community. You know, they're going to go from home to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Go have a nice meal, a couple of cocktails, and take their golf cart back to the home. It's a fully gated community, and by gated community, it is guard gated. So you're going to have, if that's the kind of security you're looking for, you're definitely going to have that available to you. The homes in here are going to be, again, those mid-century modern type style, mostly single level. A lot of them are going to have golf course views because it is a pretty expansive golf course, so they can fit a lot more homes on the golf course. And it's just, it's got a lot of history from, celebrities, politicians, former mayors, former mob bosses, former casino owners and moguls. You're going to see a lot of that history in this community. And it is pretty centrally located as well. You're not too far from some of the higher end strip resorts. You're not too far from the airport. And it is on the east side, so you do have access to the entire east side of the town as well.
Yeah, and if you are not familiar with the location, it's right behind the West Gate.
Yeah.
So you are very well situated if you are somebody like myself who likes to have access to some of the hustle and bustle. You want to be closer to the dining, to the nightlife, to the bars, to the music scene. It's a great location, and yet, like Justin said, fully gated, fully secured, so you can kind of retreat back to your oasis and get away from the tourists in the city, even though you're only a block down the road.
Correct.
All right, so that is a great suggestion, Justin. Let's go ahead and move right on to our next one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we want to talk about the McNeil Estates.
So McNeil Estates is going to be right next to Scotch 80s, just a little bit north of it. I mean, not even a half a block. They're pretty much right next to each other.
They are continuous.
Yes. What I like about McNeil Estates is I've gotten, just like Mike, I've gotten to live kind of all over the country. McNeil Estates definitely makes you feel like you're not in Las Vegas, because it is one of the older communities. It does have a lot more mature landscaping, the bigger, taller, higher trees. So that does help keep the area a little bit cooler, I would think, as well. But it just gives you, again, that retro vibe. You're going to see a lot of the mid-century modern. Most of them are going to be updated, but they're going to be ranch-style homes. On larger lots, so you do have some space. You're not going to be up against your neighbor like a typical Las Vegas neighborhood. And most of those streets either have a private gate, or if you only know those houses if you know those houses. It's very secluded.
Now, McNeil Estates, like Justin said, it is directly adjacent to the Scotch 80s. However, it is going to be a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
The Scotch 80s is going to be more of the upscale homes. That's going to be more of, like we were saying earlier, it's where the casino moguls lived. It's where the entertainers lived, right? So these houses are going to be a little bit more expansive. They're going to be a little bit, they're going to be on slightly bigger lots. They're going to be more luxurious, and they're going to have price tags to match. Whereas McNeil Estates, Still very much has that retro Rat Pack 60s Vegas vibe with the mid-century modern and the single-story homes built in the 60s. But they're going to be a little bit smaller and they're going to be a little bit more affordable.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to get into retro Vegas and you want to, make your money go a little bit further, McNeil Estates could be one place to consider.
Absolutely.
Another place you could consider is our next place, and this is a place that I'm absolutely in love with. I am actually keeping a close eye on this community.
Yep.
Because when I do eventually sell my my Tuscan cookie cutter home that we've got here and we downsize and the kids move out, I am actually thinking very, very strongly about purchasing a home in Paradise Palms. If you don't know, Paradise Palms is the community that is wrapped around the Las Vegas National Golf Course. Now, I know it can get confusing because we actually have 3 golf courses, 3 old classic golf courses with Las Vegas in the name. You have Las Vegas National Golf Course that we're talking about right now. You have Las Vegas Country Club, and you have the Las Vegas Golf Club, which we refer to as Muni.
Yeah, our home course.
That is our home course for now. Las Vegas National might be my home course in the future.
Very true.
Matter of fact, I hope that it is. Not that I will ever stop playing Muni because I just love playing Muni that much.
True.
That being said, so today, or for this neighborhood, we are talking about Las Vegas National. Las Vegas National is the golf course that you would recognize from the movie Casino. That's the place where they landed the airplane on the fairway. The home that Robert De Niro lived in that movie is located on Las Vegas National. And as Justin was saying in a previous video, when you play that course, which Justin and I have and intend to do so again soon, as you make your way around the course, there are various plaques located all over the course indicating famous historic homes and the people who lived in them.
Correct.
So if you're looking for golf course living in an area that's going to be a bit more affordable than Las Vegas Country Club, right? And it's not going to be in a gated community, so you have to be okay with that. But the prices are going to reflect that.
Absolutely.
In that it is a far more affordable proposition to buy a home in the Paradise Palms neighborhood around Las Vegas National than it would be to buy a home over in the Las Vegas Country Club.
Yes.
So if you're looking for golf course living and you're trying to save a little bit of money and you like that old school retro Vegas feel, Paradise Palms might be the right answer for you.
Absolutely.
All right, so Justin, why don't you tell us about our next community? I believe this one's a little more upscale.
It is.
Talk to me a little bit about Rancho Bel Air.
All right, Rancho Bel Air. Upscale's in the name, Bel Air. When you think of Bel Air, what do you think of?
Money.
I think of the French Prince, but okay, I agree. Money. Rancho Bel Air is going to be historic elegance.
Right.
So, think about elegance 1955 through 1969. These homes are just what was almost the epitome of elegance in Vegas back in those days. It's a private gated community. It's on Rancho over by the Springs Preserve, just south of the 95. So you have easy access to downtown Fremont Street and the Strip. You're about 15 minutes away from the airport, and you're about 15 minutes away from Summerlin. So you're going to have these beautiful homes, and you're going to be relatively close to fine dining and shopping as well. Again, like the previous communities that we've talked about, you're going to see a lot of the similar style. You're going to have mid-century modern, but with Rancho Bel Air, they're going to throw in a little bit of a mix because a lot of these homes were custom. So you will see Mediterranean. You will see a traditional farm-style home, a little bit of Tuscan, and I'm sure, I haven't been in there in a little while, but I know that there's going to be some more modern homes as well, just because of the way the market has shifted and moved. Some people have gone in there and definitely updated and modernized the homes.
There does tend to be a larger variety of homes than you might find in, say, the Scotch 80s.
Yeah, for sure.
Where you're going to have more of the preserved mid-century modern homes from the 60s. That being said, there are plenty of mid-century modern homes in Rancho Bel Air, as well as some more updated homes. What a great community, though, guys. It is, as Justin was saying, secluded, it's gated, but it's in the heart of town, which makes it very, very easy to get to anything that you could want to get to. It's right there by the Spaghetti Bowl. If you're not familiar with the Spaghetti Bowl, that's the intersection of the 95 and Interstate 15, which means that you're just down the street from the Arts District, you're just down the street from Fremont Street, you're just a few miles away from the Strip. So you have a lot of things there at your fingertip. Because you're so close to both of the main freeways that run through Las Vegas, you can get absolutely anywhere in town and, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So a great location with some really great homes.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the next one. And this is something that we talked about in a previous video. So if you haven't seen our video on Desert Shores, this is not actually the same community, but very similar. This is The Lakes.
The Lakes.
And The Lakes is going to be a more recent development, so it's not going to be the mid-century modern classic Vegas that we've been talking about. However, it has been here for a long time.
Yeah, I think construction started in the Lakes in the late 1980s and probably wrapped up right in the mid 90s to late 90s.
Yep.
So these homes are going to be a little bit, more, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but they're going to be they're not going to have that same flair and style as a lot of the other communities have. Now, there are going to be a lot of really nice, high-end, beautiful homes in this community. They're going to be right on the water. Most of them have private docks, so you can get your small boat out on the lake. And just enjoy that lake style life. They have their own restaurant within the Lakes community, and this is again a guard gated community as well. It's actually right up the street from my home on the west side of town. Now there are more affordable options in the Lakes as well.
There are, they have townhomes there, right?
They have townhomes, they have condos a little bit farther away from the water. So you can still enjoy those amenities because they do have public launches, they do have a public beach, they do have public access. And let me walk that back. Not public, but community access.
Yeah, because you are inside of a gated community, and so these amenities are for the residents.
Correct. You have ownership of the lake along with the other residents in the Lakes community. Now, talking about some of these more expensive homes, some of these nicer homes in the Lakes can get up to $3 million, and they can be 45 to 6,500 square feet, 3 and 4 story homes. Absolutely beautiful. Walls of windows so that you can really enjoy the view of the water. Again, big docks and balconies so that you can enjoy that indoor-outdoor lifestyle, especially if you want to live on the water. Why wouldn't you?
Right, absolutely.
And again, it's secluded. It's not off of a major road. It's actually about a block down from Durango and about a block down from Sahara. So, you're really kind of isolated with a community within a community. So it does give you that feel of privacy.
Right. Yeah, the Lakes is a fantastic community, especially if you want to be near the water, along with Desert Shores. And we'll make sure and put a link to that Desert Shores video down there. And I'd say we probably need to get out and do a video on the Lakes here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Soon. But to be fair, a lot of these neighborhoods need a video. So, guys, this is just an overview. We will be doing more in-depth videos on most, if not all, of these neighborhoods in the future. But if you do have questions, make sure that you reach out to us. Drop a comment down below. Hit us up at our email or our phone number. We're very, very easy to get a hold of. We love talking to you guys about Las Vegas and about the neighborhoods here. And we get calls from people just like you every day, so we would love to talk to you as well. So let's move on, Justin, to our next area.
Probably one of my favorite neighborhoods in Las Vegas.
This is a fantastic neighborhood, and I'm excited to talk about it. We're talking about Section 10, guys.
Section 10, it's a strange name. I remember when I first heard Section 10, I thought, oh, is that like, assisted living, low-income housing?
Yeah, it sounds like Section 8, but it's not.
I was like, what is Section 10?
Not that there's anything wrong with Section 8.
Absolutely not. Section 10 is located on the west side of town, off Sahara. You're going to see a lot of really large homes in Section 10 on really unique pieces of property. These aren't going to be your typical, and I don't want to say cookie cutter home, but cookie cutter lots. These lots have unique angles, and the way the streets are designed in Section 10, you have a lot of cul-de-sacs. So you're going to find a lot of different homes situated on a large, not necessarily square lot.
Yeah, that is a good way to talk about it, is the cul-de-sacs, right? So if you look at Section 10 in satellite imagery, what you'll find is you have very few homes facing the square grid of streets that make up Section 10. Most of the entire area that is Section 10 is subdivided into quarter-acre lots. Right? So one block will be an acre, and they'll subdivide that into 4 quarter-acre lots with a cul-de-sac that runs into the center of it, and then you'll have 4 homes on that block. So that tends to be the overall scheme, and we put some imagery of the map up here on the screen so you can see what we're talking about. But large lots with custom homes is the name of the game in Section 10.
Yeah, these were not built by a builder. Now, however, some builders have moved in. I have noticed that you have builders like Lennar and Toll Brothers that are building in the Section 10 area, and they're building huge, I guess, mini mansions, and they're more of the modern style. Not really my favorite, but that's where people are tending to lean into now. What I like is what Mike just said, is that most of the homes, if not all the homes in this community, are going to be custom built homes. This is a community that was built for that. So no two homes are going to be alike. You're not going to be sitting on top of your neighbor. You're just going to have, your own piece of art. Now, these homes don't come for sale very often. So, if this is something that you're into or you're looking for, some nostalgic Vegas that's not too nostalgic, but is not, something super modern or super new, and you want that large lot, then Section 10 might be the area for you. The average price in Section 10 is going to be over $900,000.
Yeah, they are luxury homes,
yes,
by and large. But they do have something that does set them apart from a lot of Las Vegas, which is that Section 10 does not have an HOA.
Correct.
And it is not a master plan community.
It is not a master plan community.
For the most part in Las Vegas, if you're buying a luxury home, and by luxury home we typically mean $750,000 and up, for the most part, you are going to be in either a master plan community or an HOA or both. So Section 10 is a large swath of luxury homes where you don't have to deal with all of that. And
correct.
I don't know about you guys, but if I can not have to deal with an HOA, I prefer to not have to deal
Absolutely.
with an HOA.
And the great thing is, because I just drove Section 10, not that long ago, there are some vacant lots in the area. So if you really wanted to buy a lot and build a custom home and not have to worry about meeting HOA standards, just Clark County permitting standards, you can really build what you want in that community. And there are plenty of luxury home builders out here that would love to get their foot in the door in Section 10.
So our next community, guys, is going to be Spanish Oaks. And Spanish Oaks is fairly close to the Scotch 80s. But what sets Spanish Oaks apart is that it is a gated community. Not just a gated community, it's one of the oldest gated communities in the city of Las Vegas.
And it's actually guard gated.
Guard gated community, yes. Very, very nice community, built largely in the 70s. So it's going to be a lot of the kind of 70s model ranch homes on larger lots. And one of the things that really sets it apart is the greenery.
Yeah.
There is
Very
just
lush.
an absolute ton of trees in there. And if you've never lived in Las Vegas, or if you've never lived in the desert, it's hard to understand just how important being in a place that has a lot of trees is. It is the difference in being in a neighborhood like Spanish Oaks versus a neighborhood like where I live, which is a newer neighborhood. The trees that we do have are mostly palm trees, so there's not a lot of overhead shade. There's not a lot of moisture in the air from the trees. You're talking just standing in one neighborhood versus the other could be a difference of 5 or 10 degrees.
Oh, absolutely. The older neighborhoods with the lush greenery, the bigger trees, the more mature landscaping tend to be much cooler.
Yeah. Your AC doesn't have to work so hard.
Exactly. And you're right. With this, what I love about this community is it's one of the few communities in Las Vegas where I would consider this kind of an active community. It's really a tennis community. Instead of a golf course community, it's a tennis community. They have beautiful tennis courts. They have a beautiful clubhouse around the tennis courts.
Some really nice community pools.
Yes. So it's got its own flair and style. It's definitely unique. Like Mike said, it's going to have a lot of ranch houses, but it also has some really unique floor plans. I've had the opportunity to tour several homes in this community, and actually one of them I toured had a really, really nice basement.
Nice. Basements are really, really uncommon here, guys.
Yes.
If you're coming from somewhere back east where basements are a normal everyday thing, you very rarely see basements out here in Las Vegas or Phoenix or Southern California. Basements are almost unheard of.
Yeah. So, some of the two-story homes in this community are those homes that were built with the living and the dining rooms wide open. So, they go all the way up to the ceiling. So you're going to see those 25 and 30-foot ceiling heights, which is just really open, and the stairway wraps around that. So you really get a great view from the stairway down into your living areas. The backyards tend to be on the smaller side, just because they take up a large footprint. So these aren't going to be the large lots that you would see in the Scotch 80s or Bel Air Estates. These are going to be some of the smaller lots, but let me tell you, the the curb appeal and driving the streets in this community really makes up for that.
Yeah, and being that it is a master planned community, you're giving up some space in your personal yard, but what you get in return is a lot of community green space.
Correct. And when I say smaller lots, I don't mean today's standard of smaller lots.
Yeah,
I'm talking
smaller
about
by the 70
7,500 to 8,000 square foot lot. So,
Right.
you're still looking at a fairly large space, definitely pool sized if it doesn't already have a pool. Definitely you can put a really nice pool out there and still have, great living space outdoors. What I mean is, comparing it to some of these other communities that we've talked about today, the lots, this is probably going to be the smallest lots.
Yeah,
you'll find.
you're not going to find half-acre lots
No, absolutely
in
not.
this community like you might in the Scotch 80s or in Bel Air, Rancho Bel Air.
And the location is, if you don't know where it's at, you're never going to find it.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, the drive to get to, it's right off of Sahara, but you're looking at probably a almost quarter-mile drive off of Sahara up a semi-private road, past some businesses, to get to the guard gate. So if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to find it. I remember the first time I went, my GPS had me driving all around the community.
It's another example of a hidden oasis right in the heart of
Absolutely.
downtown Las Vegas, which, guys, that has been the theme of the day. We know this video has run a little bit long, so we're going to wrap it up here. Guys, remember, if you're looking to buy a home in Las Vegas and you don't want a cookie cutter Tuscan style home, you don't want just another house in a tract where everybody's house looks exactly the same, reach out to Justin and I and tell us what you're looking for, because we're familiar with all of these neighborhoods and we're familiar with the homes that are available in them, and we will help you find the perfect home for you and your family if you have one. We love helping match people up with their perfect home. It's a very, very rewarding thing.
Absolutely.
So guys, make sure that you reach out to us here at the Moody Olson team. You can give us a call, you can send us a text, send us an email, reach out through our Calendly link and schedule a Zoom call. We are very, very easy to get a hold of. If you're not ready to talk to us just yet because you need to get your financing sorted out, make sure you reach out to Steve Schauer and Linda Vo over at Security National Mortgage. They are the best in town. We send all of our clients over to them and they always do a fantastic job taking care of them. They will help you figure out what you qualify for, what sort of rate you can get, and if you're not quite ready to purchase that dream home yet, they can help you get from point A to point B, where you do have the down payment saved up and the credit score you need to qualify for that loan. When you get to that point, call Justin and I. Here at the Moody Olson team, we will work as hard as we can to make sure that you get your dream home. If you're looking to sell your home, call us for that as well. We absolutely love listings here. We will put your home up on our YouTube channel. We're going to advertise it to the best of our ability. We're going to make sure that we get professional photography in there. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we sell your home as quickly as possible for the most money possible. Until next time, guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Justin.
And we're out of here.